Welcome to an introduction to California workers' compensation, presented by PFD Management. Meet Bob. Bob is a warehouse worker in sunny Los Angeles. Bob is a very hard worker. His job is to move heavy objects around the warehouse floor. Sometimes he works too hard and he gets injured. Bob has suffered a shoulder injury. In the United States, workers' compensation insurance is mandatory, and each employee must be covered by the employer. Bob must report the injury to his employer to qualify for a workers' compensation claim. It's at this point when a case is opened and a case number assigned. Bob's employer will then recommend that he go to the employer's preferred workers' compensation medical provider. Bob is not required to use the company's provider. He can work with an attorney and find his own. This happens about 50% of the time. Dr. John, a workers' compensation provider, examines Bob and his injuries. Upon determining that the injury is work-related and qualifies as a workers' compensation claim, Dr. John provides treatment at no charge to Bob. Dr. John knows that, by law, his claim will be paid by the employer's workers' compensation insurance carrier. Dr. John and his billing and collections provider looks up the fee schedule for the treatment provided to Bob, and they send out a bill for that amount. The fee schedule is a state-regulated dollar amount that shall be billed by providers and must be paid by insurers. In this example, the fee schedule for the shoulder treatment is $4,000, which is the amount Dr. John will bill at. If the claim is not paid within 18 months, the state of California requires that the doctor or the provider file a petition with the Workers' Compensation Board. This is done online in a user-friendly format. Now what does Dr. John do? He continues to wait for payment, and he waits and waits and waits. Often, insurance carriers can delay payment upwards from 18 to 60 months plus. This is mostly due to the backlog within the California workers' compensation system. Further delays are experienced due to incomplete and missing paperwork associated with the collections. In fact, because of the backlog, the insurance companies know that they can delay claims simply to see if the providers will fail to pay the lien fees. If the lien fees are not paid within the 18-month statute set forth by the state of California, the claims will simply go away. Meanwhile, Dr. John's cash flow is severely impaired by the delay in payment. He determines that by aligning with a well-informed financial partner who can provide business cycle financing for this dilemma, he is better able to sustain his business while waiting for the insurers to pay against the claim. This is a much better option. This is where PFD Management steps in with its high-level underwriting protocols to work closely with Dr. John, other medical providers, billing and collections, and the rest of the audit and compliance team to fund the business cycle. Because of the reliable capital, professional underwriting, auditing, and total team approach to billing and collections, Dr. John, the labs, pharmacies, and other providers are very willing to offer a generous return after debt service. The billing and collection company promptly sends demand letters daily as the receivables are created, and so begins an aggressive collection process. The Workers' Compensation Board is reminded that fines may be imposed for bills 45 days late. If the insurance company fails to pay, the billing and collection company is directed to file a Declaration of Readiness, or DOR. The DOR tells the Workers' Compensation Board and the insurance company that team is ready to go to the lien hearing. A lien hearing is the final step in the collection process where the team, the insurance company, and a Workers' Compensation Board representative will meet to determine if the receivable is valid. If so, set forth a judgment for payment. If for any reason the insurance company doesn't pay against a claim, a replacement claim is substituted in its place. In other words, the capital program is a total solution to the business cycle. In this case, as in most cases, the insurance company does not want to go to a lien hearing. The insurance company's representative is usually an attorney, and his fee will likely cost more than the value of the lien. Also, the receivable was billed at fee schedule on a valid workers' compensation procedure. In other words, the insurance company knows that they cannot win. Dr. John, the lab, and/or the pharmacy is paid for their receivable by the insurance company through the lockbox cash management system, along with a large profit, and the file is closed.